Tuesday. Hey, Lynn.
What's up, Lynn?
We've got some friends with us today, so Kainoa and Carly are going to help out and do a little flow. Today we're going to take it easy. I don't know if you read the description, but we're going to slow things down, really focus on our breath. If you have just a simple throw blanket, nothing fancy, we're going to use it at the beginning and the end of class. So when you are ready, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take our blanket, just kind of make a little square at the center of your mat. And when you are ready, find the most comfortable seated position. So I'm going to sit with knees together on my shins, but you can certainly sit cross-legged, whatever would make you the most comfortable and the most relaxed. And we're using the blanket today just to give a little extra padding, a little extra comfort. So once you are in your seat of choice, draw your belly in, sit up tall, give your shoulders a roll down your back. Hands can rest lightly on the tops of your thighs or beside you. And go ahead and bow your head, close your eyes, or soft gaze. And like the start of every class, I like to do a little centering. Starting with the breath, relaxing your body, and allowing your mind to clear. Thank yourself for showing up today, for doing something for yourself, giving yourself this hour of time. If you take care of yourself, it's easier to take care of others. So thank you for coming and being a part of today's practice. Begin to notice your breath. Feel each inhale in and each exhale out. With each breath, begin to lengthen, deepen, breathing at your full capacity and exhaling at your full capacity. Breath is yoga, and it'll help today not only to guide us in movements like normal, but it will also help as we hold different postures and stretches to get a little bit deeper, to work on our flexibility, and to work on our focus. If you would like to set an intention for your practice today, please do so now. And your intention can be anything from a word, a phrase, a picture in your mind, anything that helps draw your focus back to your mat should something start to enter your mind or distractions come your way. Taking another full deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to blink your eyes open or lift your gaze. Taking your hands down beside you, we're going to take a gentle twist. So left hand over to the right leg, right hand reaches behind you. Sit up tall, gentle twist, look over your back shoulder. Allow this to be gentle, easy on your body. And with another breath, come back through center and travel all the way to the other side, taking your twist over to the left. Let your shoulders relax down your back. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, let your jaw relax. And travel back through center. And we're going to take our twist again, but this time just in a fluid movement. So coming over to the right. And then with the breath, traveling over to the left. do this a couple times, just back and forth as slow as you need to go. There's no wrong or right way. Just notice how your body feels. Back over through to the left side, and then back through center. Taking your chin, bow it down to your chest. Take your right ear over to your right shoulder and slow neck roll. Slower than you want to go. Relieving any tension or tightness. Once you get back to center, take it over to the other side, so traveling over to the left. Once you come through center, lift your gaze. And we're going to transition to all fours. So coming to tabletop, keep your blanket here underneath your knees just for a little extra padding. If it's in the way, you can fold it a little bit closer to you. Spreading hands nice and wide, fingers nice and wide. Wrist in line with your shoulders, knees in line with your hips. We'll take some cat-cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly, shoulders back, gaze looks up. On your exhale, push the ground away as you arch through the upper body, gaze looks toward your knees. Inhale through cow. And exhale through cow. Continue this movement for the next 3 to 4 breaths. And feel free to move a little bit more freely if you need to pause in one area that needs a little bit more space. Or maybe you draw some circles with the hips, the back body, going in one direction and then the other. Maybe shifting back and then forward. Whatever your body needs to warm up the back, needing that flexion and extension. Again, just using that breath to create an openness and space. Once you've completed a full breath cycle, you'll meet me back to a neutral spine. Tucking your toes under if they're not already. Begin to walk your hands back towards your knees. Your glutes are going to come down on top of your heels. All toes are touching the ground. So this can be a little uncomfortable. I think we did this last week or a couple weeks ago. And I like this stretch because we typically don't stretch the backs of our feet. The bottoms of our feet have all of that connective tissue, that fascia. It can get really tight and cause tightness, not only in your ankles, but your calves. So this is a nice stretch to give a little bit of openness there. It can be a little uncomfortable. So try to use your breath, maybe closing your eyes, and just taking notice of anything that comes up. And if it's painful, release down. But again, if it's just uncomfortable, see if you can use your breath just to kind of breathe through that feeling. And on your next inhale, you're going to raise up to your knees. Go ahead and press the tops of your feet down into the ground. So now you got a nice release there. Hands come to your hips. You're going to inhale tall, long spine. Keep that length going up. Look at the ceiling as you jut your hips forward, slight arch in your back. So the supported little back bend. And I like to imagine my body draping over a big beach ball. So you're thinking length up and over. Come back through center. Take your big toes to touch. Open up the knees as wide as comfortable. Set your hips down and then reach forward for child's pose. So forehead down to your mat, hips towards your heels, and open up your knees as wide as comfortable. And this is where I like to take just a little bit more movement as well, maybe rocking the hips a little bit from side to side, or taking the hands maybe over to the right for a couple of breaths. And then walking them over to the left, so you're getting a little bit more stretch in the side body. Whatever you need to warm your body up. Your next inhale, slowly raise your body back to your tabletop position. Knees in line with your hips. Go ahead and remove that blanket to the side. We're going to use that at the end of class, so you can just kind of put it within reach. Once you come to your all fours, tuck your toes under. Press into your finger pads so there's a slight little lift in the palm of your hand from the mat. And then inhale, knees hover for 1, 2, 3, 4. On 5, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keep a nice bend in your knees. Maybe pedal out your feet from right to left. We're going to work on loosening up the hamstrings. Getting a little openness in the backs of the legs. Again, pressing into your finger pads so that you're not dumping weight in your wrists, but there's a nice even amount of weight from the front of your body on your hands to the back of your feet. Once you've taken some bends in your knees, go ahead and begin to straighten through your legs. Your heels come down towards your mat. Lengthen through your back as you push against the ground, getting that V shape with your body. Let your head and shoulders relax. And as you inhale, you're going to take your right hand and you're going to grab for your left knee, left calf, or left ankle. Whatever feels most comfortable. Try to keep your upper body centered, but let your gaze travel underneath your left armpit. Make sure belly's pulling in towards your spine. And then release. Right hand comes back, and you're going to take your left hand, reaching for opposite leg, knee, calf, or ankle. And return back to your down dog. On your inhale, you're going to curl through your upper body, rounding out to a high plank. Once you arrive, lower your knees down. Inhale, hug your arms close to your body as you lower yourself all the way down to your mat. Untuck your toes, hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, cobra. Shoulders back, gaze looks forward. Exhale to release. Hands are going to come on to the outside of your mat, coming to the tops of your fingers as you inhale back through cobra. Just with wider arms, giving a little bit more space in the chest. Relax your shoulders and release. Hands come back underneath shoulders. Hug your elbows in towards your body. Curl your toes under. Push back through tabletop and then up to your downward facing dog. Take a full inhale in and full exhale out. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up for three-legged dog. Your right toes are going to dial down, pointing towards the floor so your hips stay level. Breathe here. And as you exhale, take your knee towards your chest and step that right foot up towards the front of your mat, settling your left knee behind you for a low lunge. Once you arrive, inhale, lengthen through your spine, fingertips raise off of your mat, and then release yourself down and straightening through that right leg, come to a half split. So right foot is flexed, aiming to keep that left hip in line with your left knee. And the goal isn't to get as close to your leg as possible, but lengthen through your back and allow your exhale to draw you closer. Trying to keep your hips as level as possible. Keeping with our breath, you can stay here or take your hand on the outside of your right leg. So you're just going to intensify that stretch in the right leg. So for the IT band. Notice if any thoughts are starting to creep in, just allow them to travel along, stay present. And then release back through center. We'll come back to that low lunge. Left knee lifts off of your mat. And exhale, step your foot back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath. And full breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts, toes point down. As you exhale, step that foot forward, coming into your low lunge on the other side. Once you arrive, inhale, let your fingertips hover off the mat, lengthen through your back, and exhale to release. Inhale, shift your hips back, straightening through that front leg, taking our half split on the other side. Feel free to adjust your body in any way comfortable to make sure that that hip and knee are in line. You can put a little micro bend in that left leg if that's more comfortable. Try to use your breath into the stretch, allowing each exhale to bring you a little bit deeper. You can stay in this position where you can walk your hands on the outside of your left leg. Again, just intensifying the stretch a little bit more. Foot is active, nice and flexed. And slowly return yourself to center. Come right back into that low lunge. Lift that back knee off of your mat and step back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Big breath out. Next inhale, lift your right leg up again for a three-legged dog. This time, opening up through that right hip, you're going to bend your right knee, taking your right foot closer to your glute. Try to keep that upper body centered and allow that rotation to come from that right hip. On your next inhale, We're gonna step that right foot forward again, coming back into that low lunge. Left knee down onto your mat. On your next breath in, this time raising your hands up towards the sky and allowing yourself to stack your left hip in line with your left knee. Your right knee should be in line with your right ankle or slightly behind. Relax your shoulders down. Take a few breaths here. You want to think of your inner thighs almost squeezing together so you have a nice solid foundation, and using your breath almost like someone's pulling you up by your wrist so there's lots of length and space. Staying here, begin to lower your arms to the horizon. And once you arrive, you're going to take that right arm and pull it back almost like you were doing a bow and arrow. The hand can come to your hip, or you can open that right arm out long, taking a twist. And again, thinking about those legs squeezing together, the twist coming from your navel. Gaze can look back at that back hand. And then release back through center, fingertips reach high. Exhale, release your hands down. Step your foot back to a high plank or supported plank. So knees can lower if that's easier or if that's more comfortable, or keep it high if you want a little bit more challenge. Breathe in, and as you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, hands stay underneath the shoulders as you reach up to cobra. Maybe going a little bit deeper, straightening a little bit more through the arms. Exhale to release. And inhale, either coming back through tabletop into your down dog, or inhaling through high plank, and then exhaling downward facing dog. So let's take that on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts, toes point down. Staying here in three-legged dog, and then bending that left knee as you open up through the left hip, a little bit deeper. Chest stays in the middle of your mat, gaze looks down. And then use your leg strength to pull that left foot up through the middle of your mat, allowing your right knee to settle for your low lunge. Once you feel grounded, inhale, begin to raise your body up, fingertips reach for the sky. Breathe here in your low lunge, gaze looks forward, or maybe close your eyes, find your center. Notice if this side feels a little bit different than your right side. And with your breath, allow your fingertips to reach forward, opening up through that left arm, pausing either at your waist or opening up completely for your twist. So lower body squeezes together, twist comes from your belly, gaze can look back at your fingers or to the side. Using your arms to come back through center, fingertips reach up. Exhale to release your hands down, step back to high or supported plank. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, shift your hips back to child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Maybe get a drink of water if you need it. I know I need one. All right. When you are ready, join me back for down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to raise our right leg back up. Open up through the hip, bending through that right knee. Inhale, step your right foot forward, coming back to that low lunge. Left knee down onto your mat. Inhale, fingertips high. Exhale, hold. Inhale, fingertips towards the front of the room, and as you exhale, opening up into your twist. Inhale, back through center, arms come up, and then exhale, hands to your hips. On your next breath in, you're going to lift that back left knee coming into your high lunge. Feel free to adjust your feet to get a better stance. You can kind of move around here a little bit. Once you're there, make sure your hip points are facing forward, belly draws in, fingertips high. You can also keep a slight little bend in that back knee for a little bit more stability. Breathing in and breathing out, lowering into that lunge a little bit deeper. Another full breath. Hands come to your hips. You're going to straighten through that front leg and walk that left foot in a little bit closer to your right foot. Your left heel is going to anchor down to the ground and your toes are going to be about 45-degree angle. So there should be space for your hips to be level. Again, the hips pointing forward. But you've got a nice anchor in the back of that left foot. Right toes face forward. As you inhale, lengthen through your back. Exhale, hinge your hips forward, keeping them as level as possible. And then reaching your hands down to your calf, ankle, or your mat for pyramid pose. If you're really tight, you can also put a little bend in that front knee. That'll just give you a little bit more space. And with each exhale or each breath you take, you can begin to lengthen and straighten that leg a little bit more. The closer you walk your back foot up, a little bit easier that will be. So feel free to adjust your feet in any position that you need. Notice if your head or neck is straining forward, just allow the crown of your head to reach down. You guys look great. Your next breath in, you're going to bend that front knee. Hands are going to come back to your hips. Pivot onto that back foot. Round down into that right foot. And then slowly lift your left knee. Pause for breath. And then exhale to release. With our feet together, inhale, arms high, palms touch the sky. Exhale, dive your body down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands come to shins or upper thighs, lengthen through your back. Exhale to release. Step your feet back to your high or supported plank. Breathe in, breathe out, lower yourself all the way down. Inhale through cobra. And exhale to release. Use your breath through to push yourself up to that high plank and then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full deep inhale. Full exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. When you're ready, begin to open up through that hip, bending that left knee. And then using your breath, allow that left foot to come forward, coming to your low lunge. When you're ready, inhale your body up. Pause in your low lunge. Breathing in, breathing out, arms drop down in front of you, and then open up to your twist. When you're ready, come back through center. Fingertips reach high, and then hands come to your hips. Take a breath for grounding, and when you are ready, go ahead and lift that back knee up, coming into your high lunge. Make your adjustments, and then lifting your fingers high, taking about 3 breaths here to hold. One more breath. Hands come to your hips. And then stepping that back foot forward, we're going to take pyramid on the other side. So again, our hip points facing forward, stepping that back foot out if we need a little bit of space. And then adjusting the back foot to whatever level is comfortable for you. Breathing in, breathing out, hinging forward, coming down, hands to leg, ankle, or mat. Let your head, neck, and shoulders relax. Trying to keep those hips as level as possible. Bending through that front knee, hands come back to your hips. Raise your body up. Pivot on those back toes, and when you're ready, lift that right knee, pause for balance. Belly draws in. Gaze looks forward. And then release. Foot comes down. Let's take a flow again. So at the top of your mat, inhale, arms circle up high. Exhale, dive your body forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Step your feet back, high plank, hold. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale through cobra. Exhale, release down. Tuck the toes under, inhale, high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take that sequence one more time through, and we're going to add a little extra on here at the end. So when you're ready, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bending the right knee. Inhale, step your foot through, coming to your low lunge, left knee down onto the mat. Inhale, fingertips high. Exhale, hold. Inhale, feel length through your hands. As you exhale, hands come forward and opening up to your twist. Breathing. Coming back through center. Hands down to your hips. And inhale, high lunge. Staying here, inhale your fingertips high. And this time as you exhale, instead of coming to pyramid pose, we're going to open up to warrior two. So that front heel is going to be in line with the back arch of your foot. Your shoulders and hips are stacked. Arms reach out to a T, pulling your shoulder blades in towards one another. Deep lunge with that leg. Gaze looks over your front fingertips. And breathe. Hopefully your legs are talking to you, because mine definitely are. And when you are ready, inhale, flip that front palm open and raise up to reverse warrior. So keeping that lunge in your front leg, nice side body stretch. Left fingertips reach down toward your left foot. Back to warrior two. One more breath. And then release your hands down. Step back to your downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, left foot lifts. Bending through your left knee. Step your left foot forward, coming into your low lunge. Right knee settles down onto your mat. Use your strength, your breath to raise up, fingertips to the sky. And hold for a breath. Hands come towards the front of you as you open up to your twist. Breathing. Release back through center. Fingertips high. And then arms open up, hands to your hips. Feel strong. Inhale, high lunge. Lifting that back knee. Fingertips high. 2 breaths here. Strong gaze, strong belly. Breathe length. And as you breathe out, open up to warrior two. Arms to the horizon. Gaze looks out over your front fingertips. Nice lunge in that front leg. You set an intention at the beginning of your practice. Use that now to hold this pose. Breathing through any discomfort. Using your breath, flip that front palm up and over, reverse warrior. Nice breath in the side ribs as you open up, reaching towards the back of the room. And then back to warrior two. Take a breath. And then release your hands down. Step back to your high plank or supported plank. Inhale, lower all the way down. Exhale, cobra. Release your body. And then whatever transition you need to meet back to downward facing dog. Your next inhale, look forward and walk your feet to meet your hands to come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Once you arrive, inhale, half lift, hands come to shins or upper thighs. Lengthen through the back. Exhale to release. Inhale, arms circle up overhead, palms touch. And exhale, hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Take a couple of breaths. Remember your intention. Open up your eyes, and on your inhale, lift your right knee. And then step your foot back, this time opening up to the side wall, coming into a wide-legged stance. So toes are going to point towards one another, heels out to the side. As you inhale, arms come out to the horizon. Exhale, hands come together, fingers interweave, is that a word? There you go. And you're going to pull your knuckles towards the ground as you inhale. As you exhale, hinge forward, taking your hands up towards the ceiling, stretching through the chest and shoulders. Hands can stay up, pulling the shoulders and chest open, or you can release your hands down to your mat. Release the crown of your head down towards the mat. Slight little micro bend in your knees. And on your next breath, hands come to your hips. Slowly bending your knees, raise yourself up to the top. Turn your left foot forward and come back to the top of the mat. Keeping your hands on your hips, inhale, lifting your left leg. On your exhale, you'll step your left foot back, coming to take your wide-legged stance, facing the other direction. Interlace, that's what I was trying to say. Interlacing your fingers. On your inhale, arms come out to the horizon. Exhale, hands clasp behind you, interlacing your fingers, pull your chest open. And exhale, release yourself down to your forward fold on the other side. This time, hands come down to your mat. Take your left hand in line with your face as you inhale, lift your right fingers up for a twist. Breathing here. As you breathe out, lower your hand down. Replace your right hand with your left, and left fingertips reach up towards the sky. Left hand releases down. Pause for 2 more breaths. Slight bend in your knees, hands come to your hips. Slowly raise yourself back up to stand. Transition back to the front of your mat, feet together. Inhale, arms circle up, palms touch at the top. And exhale, dive your body down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Last time, step your body into high or supported plank. Inhale, lower all the way down. Exhale, body raises, cobra. Release. And shift your hips back to child's pose. Staying here for just a few moments, letting the breath begin to settle. Getting ready to finish. Practice up with some floor work. When you're ready, raise yourself out of child's pose. And you're going to grab your blanket and put it back into the center of your mat. Finishing up with a little bit of support. Come back to kneel on your blanket like we did in the beginning of class. Feet can be flat or you can curl the toes under. Hands to your hips. Inhale, take that supported back bend. Just notice if you can drop the head back if that feels safe for your neck. And then bring yourself back through center. Come down to your knees. And we'll transition onto our seat, legs out in front of us. Flexing your feet, and feet are about hips width distance. Remove any fleshy area from your bottom. Feel nice and supported by your blanket. As you inhale, lift your fingertips high. And as you exhale, hinging forward, seated forward fold. Hands can reach for the ground, ankles or feet. Long spine. Slowly inching your way closer to your legs. Keep your breath. Keep your focus. And when you're ready, slowly begin to raise your body up. You're going to bend your right knee. Take your right hand to your right knee, your left hand to your ankle, and then allow yourself just to kind of move your leg a little bit from side to side. Any tightness out of that hip. Once you've done that a few times, place your foot on the outside of your left leg, hugging your right knee into your chest, and take your twist. Notice if you feel you can go a little bit deeper than you did in the beginning of practice. And allow yourself to come back through center. Straighten that right leg. Taking that left leg. Just kind of giving it a little shake from side to side. And once you've done that a few times, placing that left foot on the outside of your right leg, hugging your knee in towards your chest and taking your twist. through center. Straighten out that leg. We're gonna bend our knees, feet flat onto our mats. Inhale, length. As you exhale, slowly allow yourself to roll back. Knees remain bent, coming to your back. Once you arrive, you may want to position your blanket a little bit more, again, kind of folding it over to give yourself a little bit more padding. Walk your heels closer to your fingertips, closer to your glutes. And as you inhale, raise your hips up, coming to bridge pose. So knees point forward, shins parallel, hips raise. Lower yourself back down to your mat. And draw your knees up toward your chest. Holding onto your right knee, lengthen your left leg down onto your mat. And then placing your left hand on your left hip, you're going to open up that right knee to the side. We worked the legs, hips a latte, so hopefully this is a nice release. And drawing that right knee up and over your left leg, take your twist and your back. Gaze can look up, or you can look over your right shoulder, right arm to a T, a goalpost arm. Bring yourself back through center. Left knee bends as right leg straightens. Right hand to your hip as you open up through that left knee. And then take your left knee, guiding it over your right leg to take your twist on the other side. Releasing from your twist, draw your knees in towards your chest again. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then straightening your legs so feet come towards the ceiling. Slowly begin to lower your legs all the way down. Once you arrive, we're going to come into our final pose, Shavasana. You can keep your blanket underneath your hips. You can use that blanket and fold it again as a pillow underneath your head, or undoing your blanket and using it over your body. Whatever you decide, allow yourself to be fully comfortable. Relax through your whole body. Close your eyes. The breath begins to slow. Finishing out practice with the most important pose, the most grounding pose there is. stay here, and I will bring you back in a few moments. Stay in your final Shavasana, or if you're ready, begin to invite movement into your body, wiggling toes, wiggling fingers, slowly rolling out wrists and ankles. Gently take your head from one side and then the other. Reaching your arms up overhead, give yourself a full body stretch. And slowly roll over to one side and pause. And when you're ready, gently begin to lift your body up back to a seated position. When you arrive, take your arms up overhead, palms touch at the top. Big breath in. And as you exhale, draw your hands down to your heart. Bow your chin in, close your eyes. I hope today's practice was a relaxing practice. I hope you feel that you have created some more space, some more openness, and that this carries you through the rest of your evening and through the rest of your week. It's always my pleasure to guide you, and I hope to see you again soon. Sending you love and light. Namaste. Thank you. Hope to see you again next week. Have a great rest of your night. And thank you to Kano and Carly too for helping. That was great.
Thank you.
Good to see you again, Lynn.
So nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I had a massage yesterday to loosen up my hamstrings.
Oh, nice.
But I'll do it. Yeah, that's nice.
I feel the best.
I'm still in where she released my butt a bit.
And the glutes, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna be more of that.